This is the exact spark the Lakers needed, as the Lakers finally get their first preseason win, with a big reason why, as they receive some stellar play from their big man in the middle, as well as some other front court players who showcase some great play that looks very promising, as the Lakers are going to need to rally together in order for them to have a good start to this long NBA season. What's good? I'm Okechi Apakama, and this is Lakers Digest, coming at you another video. And before we get into everything we have for you for that game recap, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, guys, because we are less than 10 days away from the start of the NBA season. And if you guys don't want to miss any of that basketball action, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest so you don't miss any of it. Now, with that out of the way, let's hop straight into the topics we have for you today for this game recap, as Ayton and Hachimura shine against the Warriors. So the Lakers played the Golden State Warriors for the second time in the preseason, and they were finally able to get their first win of the preseason. And here's a quick snapshot of the game, as the Lakers picked up their first preseason win, 126 to 116 against the Warriors. Reaves led the way with 21, Hachimura with 16, Knecht with 16, Ayton had 14 points and shot the ball really well. Vincent with 13 points, LeBron with 11, and they have their next game coming up on Tuesday, which is going to be their, I believe, second to last preseason game there. But for this game for the Los Angeles Lakers, they were able to pull out their first victory, and it was nice because they didn't have LeBron James, Luka Doncic, or Marcus Smart in this one, along with Maxi Cleveland and Drew Thero. So all those guys did not play, but the guys that were playing, they did look a lot better than the Lakers were for this past week of games that they played. And you can tell that week of practice really made a difference. Some of the Laker folks were seeing this, as Darius Toronto, one of the guys who writes for the Lakers for Blue and Golds, great Laker insider, but he said the Lakers clearly put much more in their playbook and having a full week of practice since their last game. And you can tell there was a difference between their Laker offense, because there was just so much better, more fluidity to it, and just they look like they were running more plays out there. So just let's take a look at the box score there for the Los Angeles Lakers. And Austin Reaves led the way in scoring with 21 points there, 7 of 10 shooting ball. He looked fantastic here in the preseason. DeAndre Ayton had probably his best game, I think, in the preseason, right? 14 points to go along with 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block shot for good measure. Shot 6 of 8 from the field. Was really hitting that mid-range shot that he's been known for. And then Rui Hachimura had another nice, for the first time, had a nice game. Had 16 points to go along with 3 rebounds, a couple of assists, a steal, and shot 6 of 10 from the field. They also had some nice play from Gabe Vincent, who's also had a nice preseason so far. And then Jake LaRavia, who didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but was doing a lot of things on the floor. Had 5 assists, 4 steals in that one. So we're going to get to him later in a bit. But I want to go back to Ayton there, as DeAndre Ayton looked fantastic. This is probably the best that he's looked on the Lakers so far. And you can tell there's been a bit of a learning curve from his new teammates, and obviously DeAndre Ayton, as they've been trying to figure things out here. Every time they've thrown DeAndre Ayton a lob, it seems like nobody's thrown it in the right spot, really. So there's been some miscommunication there, but that really comes with time and more playing with your guys more. And then obviously Luka Doncic, we have not seen him and DeAndre Ayton play together just yet, but we might see that here in the next couple of days. However, though, DeAndre Ayton has just been kind of like working through things. He was mainly Austin Reaves' screen and roll partner, and he was trying to get Austin open. He really did a good job of that, as Austin Reaves had 21 points in this one, shot 7 of 10, so shot the ball extremely efficient. Obviously, Austin's got a lot of skills, but that pairing of DeAndre Ayton and Austin Reaves, it was a really nice screen and roll set pairing, as they're trying to figure each other out, as DeAndre Ayton is always the guy who doesn't always roll to the basket. But the other thing that he does well is shoot that mid-range shot, and he really had that working for him in that game there. And this is just one of the clips from the games. It's just this, you can see this type of shot here, that he'll probably take this a good amount. He shot 50% from the mid-range last season. So DeAndre Ayton can shoot that basketball from that spot about 15 to 18 feet out, and he's been very adept at that shot. So it's important for the Lakers to find spots not only where he can take that shot, but also give him in good spots, because there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be in a deep drop coverage against DeAndre Ayton because he's not a three-point shooter. But he can space them out a little bit to that 15 to 18 feet mark. And we saw a lot of that there in that game against the Warriors. The Warriors, obviously, they were a little bit lessened in height there. They didn't have Al Horford playing, but they did have Quentin Post out there. But they don't really have the big guys to really challenge DeAndre Ayton there and anywhere on the floor. And he was getting a lot of easy looks there, letting the game really come to him in some points, throwing up a couple hook shots as well. So a lot of good things to see from DeAndre Ayton offensively, and then defensively, some good things again as well. So he was, being in the right spots, using his hands really well, getting a couple steals in that one too, and really just being a presence there. And that is what the Lakers kind of miss, and which you don't fully get with Jackson Hayes, because Jackson Hayes can be more of a perimeter oriented guy and not more of an interior force that like DeAndre Ayton is. So it was really nice to see DeAndre Ayton play well in this one, because he still hasn't played with Luka Doncic, and I really think Luka Doncic is going to be the one to really unlock DeAndre Ayton and really showcase what he can really do in that pick and roll game there. But another guy that I also wanted to get to was Rui Hachimura. Played well in this one. This was his first time playing well, and I think this is going to be a good opportunity for Rui Hachimura, a time for him to probably get an extended run here with LeBron James missing the first couple of weeks here in the NBA season. So there's going to be a time for Rui Hachimura that he's going to be able to cook and have free and open shots, because take a look at this game here. He shot 6 of 10 from the field, 3 of 4 from three-point range. So the shots are going to be there for Rui Hachimura. And like I said, without LeBron James, there's going to be opportunity for a guy like Hachimura to really fill it up there and take up more of that position that he's used to in that 4 spot there, because it's probably going to be his. And we're still figuring out who that last 5th starter is going to be. But there is going to be names thrown in there. Obviously, Marcus Smart, who we haven't seen just yet. Jake Lavia, who's had a solid preseason. And then Jared Vanderbilt, who's been the talk of the town in preseason because of his defense. He had more of a subdued game in this one, but there was some nice plays that Jared Vanderbilt had. Again, he's finishing a lot better at the rim. The shooting is still not fully there yet, but let's give that some time here in the preseason. See if we can catch a little bit of a rhythm. And like I said, a guy like Jared Vanderbilt does not really need to shoot very high of a percentage. He just needs to be a bit respectable. So somewhere in that 34-35% range, if he can shoot somewhere around close to there, I think that'll be good news for the Los Angeles Lakers. So they're going to need all of these front court players who have just recently named DeAndre Ayton, Rui Hachimura, Jake LaRavia, and Jared Vanderbilt all to step out, because LeBron James is not going to be with the Lakers for those first couple of seasons and a couple of weeks there. And that gets to my next point here, is guys need to step up here. So the Lakers are going to be without LeBron for, they said 3 to 4 weeks he gets reevaluated, but it could be longer, because it's usually that's the reevaluation period, and then there's going to be a return to play process that happens. And the Lakers, who have been kind of weird the past couple of seasons with injuries, so things tend to be longer than they should be, or it's just we don't get the correct information or the right information at the appropriate time. So it's very hard to figure out when a person will be back. But for the just start of the season, so this is at least 5-7 games, the Lakers are going to be without LeBron James. So it's important for other guys to step up here. And there is going to be a talk here and conversation that we're going to have here on the channel about who the next 5th starter is. But there is a lot of guys who can take up probably that 5th starter spot. Talked about Marcus Smart. We still haven't seen him play yet. I would love to see him play. He said he's going to play the next 2 preseason games, so we're going to finally get Marcus Smart there. But the other 2 guys, Jake LaRavia and Jared Vanderbilt. So those are, I think, the other 2 guys fighting for that last starting position there in LeBron's spot. And either of those guys can bring a couple of different things. Jake LaRavia is more offensively geared, and then you have Jared Vanderbilt, who's more defensively geared. Well, Jake LaRavia can play some defense there, but if he is going to be put in the starting lineup, then it makes him more of an important a point of attack defender for the Lakers, because they don't really have that there in that starting rotation besides Austin Reaves, who you don't want to wear out early in the season here, because without LeBron, he's going to be asked more to do offensively. So I think this now makes the case for a guy like Jared Vanderbilt to be that next guy in the starting position. He has started every game in the preseason, so I don't know if that's worth for something, because LeBron or Luka Doncic have not played just yet, but he has started, so it looks like there is some trust being built up there from JJ Redick to of Jared Vanderbilt, and just even taking a look at the stats that he had against the Warriors there. Shot the ball 3 of 9. It wasn't super great from 3-point. Yeah, 0 of 4, but he did have a couple finishes inside. 4 rebounds, a couple of assists. Had a really nice one on the fast break to Jake LaRavia. And he just brings a different set of skills that not many players in the Laker roster have. I think with the exception of maybe Marcus Smart and maybe the idea of a duo Thero. So Jared Vanderbilt can really add something to the Lakers starting lineup, and you can put him on a myriad of defenders, and I really think he can be a very good person to put next to Luka Doncic, because now, like, if Luka is come across somebody who's at his position who is very a high level player, then you can stick a guy like Jared Vanderbilt onto him, and then you have Austin Reaves for your second best probably perimeter player out there. So I think that makes more sense defensively and fits guys into better roles. And then there's going to be more shots open up for a couple of guys in the front court, and that's where you have Hachimura and DeAndre Ayton. So offensively, I think those guys are going to be more responsible with LeBron James out for scoring the basketball and finishing some of these plays, because Austin Reaves and Luka Doncic are going to be the guys setting the table for them. So it is very vital for these guys to have good starts, and like it starts in the preseason, like those good games. This is good to see for the Lakers, for them to carry that over into the season, and hopefully have a couple of wins here and have a nice record once LeBron James comes back from injury. But that's probably going to be it for this video, guys. Let us know in the comments down below of how do you think DeAndre Ayton has been playing here in the preseason. How do you think Rui Hachimura has looked? Do you think it is important for him to step up here in this early parts of the season? And do you also agree with me that Jared Vanderbilt should be the 5th starter, or should it be somebody else? Should it be Marcus Smart or Jake LaRavia? Make your case in the comments down below. And one more thing for us, guys, there is still 56% of you guys who have recently watched our videos who are not yet subscribed to the channel. And if you guys want more of that Laker news, Laker updates, trade rumors, game recaps, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys can come right here to Lakers Digest, because there's less than 10 days before the NBA season starts. And guys, I can't hold this excitement. So if you guys don't want to miss any of that action, make sure you guys are subscribed to Lakers Digest. All right, I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I will catch you guys on the next one.